to go in.
Well, somebody has to go home tonight, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure nobody wants to go home. So they are going to fight for every possession. They're going to give 110% so they can win this basketball game.
Should Wilmington pull off the upset, does Dominican season end, or are they safe enough in the rankings where they do get to the tournament, even if they have a bad night tonight?
19-win season this year. They ran through the CAC. I think they get an at-large bid. But I also don't think they lose this game.
Here comes Hawkins, who will back out as the Wildcats will control the opening tip. Being patient as it's set now for Walter. Looking for help. As the Wildcats try to be patient with the opening possession here. Perez. Kick back out for Walter for three. Off the front of the rim. Can't get the bounce. Blocked from behind by Jaden Honis. As all of a sudden, Dominican, and they'll get the ball back as it was deflected off, I believe it was Alexander. A big stop for Dominican out of the gate. Carried back in now. Jaden Honis hangs on to it. Drops it off for Peters. Peters back to Honis for three. Boom! That is a majestic release as Dominican breaks the seal. Got to respond. It's Perez, and he does for the right wing. And suddenly we've got fireworks aplenty.
And the Chargers have to be very mindful of Perez. He's someone that put up big numbers against them last time they played this season.
Smith trying to get that one to go in, but it was a bit awkward, and so Wilmington will bring it back quickly. Good speed as we get started here. Perez spins around a couple of times, hits the triple axel.
And Perez looks like he came to play tonight with the first 5 points for this Wilmington team.
He needs to have a great game to give his team a chance. There's no gentleman to say it. Peters gets it back. Yes, sir. Good give and go with Smith.
And you got to show love to the big man, Manny Smith. You don't really see bigs that can pass the basketball like that, like we just saw from Manny.
There's an element of grace, as Matt points out, that normally the big man does not have. Hawkins, this one is swatted away as the Chargers will charge through now. Morse will come back with it. Kicks it back out to the corner. Peters doesn't shoot. Wise decision. Honis says thank you. But it's off the front of the rim. Rebounded in front. It goes to the other guy in front of us, Morris. And so DUNY is back in front. Walter looks in the corner, but not shooting yet is Alexander. Hawkins can't get it to go, but it'll go to the line to shoot two. First foul of the game will be against the Chargers. Some good pace here in the early going. Foul will be against Smith. It'll be Hawkins to the line to shoot two. Trying to be very, very focused right now. Every foul shot matters. We saw that in the women's game that Dominican won earlier this evening. As Hawkins makes the first one on the season, he is 62%.
And I think you said something key there. Every free throws matter in this game. It's playoff basketball. Every basket counts.
Even if it's just one on the scoreboard. 7-6 is the score now. 2.5 in, opening half. Smith tries to carry it through, got it back to Morris. No travel. Morris looks for an opening and rainbows it in.
Chance is one of the best at it in the conference and one of the best to do it when he's going downhill with that left hand.
Right now he's going downhill with his poles and skis completely flat like Lindsey Vaughn, but not able to score at the other end for the Wildcats. As able to convert on the other end after the miss by Hawkins, it is Peters. And now it's given away. Brought back. Extra wide trainer open for three. Isaiah Honis overshot it. Got a little bit excited. As Wilmu will just try to slow things down now. It is Alexander.
Now, if this Wilmington team wants to win this game or have a chance, they have to value the basketball. The last time when they played the Chargers, they had over 15 to 16 turnovers that resulted in 28 points for the Chargers. So if they want to win this game, they have to value that basketball and limit turnovers.
Another block by Isaiah Honis. Ball is on the deck. It's being smothered as Hawkins gets his elbow back from Smith. Otherwise, I thought we were going to see some grappling. It's tied up. It'll go back to Dominican. Yes, this is playoff basketball when you're on the deck and he's got a bit of a burn on the elbow.
I think you can feel the intensity from the players. They know that every possession matters.
So Morris will put it back in. It comes to Isaiah Honis. 4 for Morris, 4 for Peters. Jaden Honis has 3 out of the gate. Smith. Good D by Hawkins. Lost the ball, got it back. No pass yet. Now there is. Morris. Switch down for Isaiah Honis. Tried to scoop, couldn't finish. And I think the ball hit Honis on the ground out of bounds, but it goes back to the Wildcats at 3:54. 11-6, Chargers in front. Intensity, name of the game right now. Whichever team can harness it better will get off to a better start here. Perkins. On him is Chance Morris. Shifted now. Walter. Picks it up now for Perkins. On him is Morris again. Perkins still with it. Able to get it through. Going to be hung on to. Yes, by Alexander. Now it's given away. Ball to still loose. It got back. Has a fire quickly off the rim. And a rebound put up and in. Those are bonus points. As Hawkins able to save things on that possession of the bucket. Brought back quickly now by Peters. He's hacked. He'll go to the line.
Absolutely. I think something that you just said there is bonus points. A key to the game for both teams is to limit their opponent on offensive rebounds. The Chargers are a great team offensively, getting offensive rebounds. This Wilmington team needs to hone in on that as well as the Chargers. In their last game, this Wilmington team pulled down 15 offensive rebounds. If the Chargers want to win, they have to limit this Wilmington team on the offensive boards like we just saw in that last possession.
11-8, 15-24 left in the opening half. Early returns. Dominican shooting 5 of 9 from the field. Wilmington is 3 out of 8 turnovers. Matt said they'll be important. Wilmington has committed 1 already. Dominican with none yet.
Well, I'll tell you this, right? Football is a game of inches. Basketball is a game of possessions. You want to have more possessions than your opponent. That gives you more opportunities to score that basketball.
Again, winner of this game will play the winner of Chestnut Hill and Bridgeport. Do we have a final yet? As I look, well, it is late in the second half. Minute left. Bridgeport on the road leads Chestnut Hill 81-79. This is a static bracket. The winner of the game between Jefferson and Caldwell plays either goalie Beacom or Post. As we look at the scoreboard now, early first half, Jefferson, like Dominican, had a women's game earlier tonight. That's why there's a late start. Jefferson leads Caldwell 16-10. And late in the second half, Post looks like they'll defeat goalie Beacom. It is 74-66 with 16 seconds left in favor of Post. The rest of the tournament, Jefferson will host both semifinals and the title game. Semifinals on Saturday, title game on Sunday for men's and women's. Women's scores earlier tonight, of course, Dominican defeating goalie Beacom 76-61. Dominican will play Holy Family as they beat Post 71-45. In the other half of the women's bracket, Jefferson taking care of Felician 75-57. And this one is over. It's going to be Jefferson taking on Caldwell. Caldwell defeating Chestnut Hill 61-51. So there's a lot going on at this time of year, as Peters can't make the first one. So the Dominican women will play Holy Family on Saturday down at Jefferson. Jefferson will take on Caldwell. That is in the women's bracket. Makes the second, Peters, and the score is now 12-8. It is Hawkins. And the pass is out of the hands of Perez. He had a gimme lined up. Brought back now by Peters. Peters, he lost the ball, and suddenly somebody greased that ball with Vaseline during the timeout. Gaylord Perry would be proud. Perkins looks around. And staring the whites of his eyes is Isaiah Honis. Wall was briefly put up, now he's doubled. Kick back out to Walter. Wide open is Perez. In and out. It's taken by Smith as Dominican dodge a cannonball there. Morris off the high glass, can't negotiate Humpty Dumpty. And suddenly, it's turned into a chaotic feel with this ball right now. Perkins is briefly doubled. It comes down for Alexander, who's able to find Perez, and that's that. Morris Looks around now for Honis. Jaden Honis. Back it came from Morris. There is lots of energy, especially for that visiting bench. Jaden Honis looking to direct traffic. This one is telegraphed, and it is stolen, brought back by the Wildcats. Dropped off for Perez. Great unselfish. Smart play made there as getting the dime was Alexander Ebertine.
Now, Jaden has to be mindful of that and making a kind of cross-court pass when they're playing the zone. Wilmington is hoping that this zone defense right now could slow down the Chargers.
Intended alley-oop for Honis does not work, and that one is spilled as Isaiah Honis is down, and he is shaken up as there was all kinds of chaos, if not combat, underneath the bucket. As Smith is saying, are you okay? And I think Isaiah Honis just said, I'll live, but this one smarts. He wants to walk it off. He wants to stay in the game, but I think right now they have to sit him for a moment just to make sure that everything is still working. So Wilmington for the field is now 5 of 11. They've been to work for some good buckets here. Dominican is 5 out of 10. Dominican now with 3 turnovers, Wilmington with 2. Isaiah Creedle lays it now for Denham Perkins. Perkins looks around. Left side of the court is flooded. Hand it back to Perkins. Looks around for Perez. Lets it go for 3. Boom! And Wilmington has its first lead of the ball game.
So Perez has got the knapsack on right now, carrying this Wilmington team. You have to start making adjustments, and you have to start communicating better if you're the Chargers. Perez is the sole person on this Wilmington team that is hurting this Chargers team because he's scoring the basketball at a high clip right now.
Morris could not make. In the corner, that one is just a bit too long from Alexander. Ball is picked up this time by Kirk. Kirk, back for Honis. Kirk will get it back again. Doesn't shoot yet. Jaden Honis. In it came near the left block, but not able to make it. Was it a rebound? And one! Dickerson rights the ship.
And that I love to see that for Jules Dickinson. This is a player right here that could score anywhere from 12 to 16 points per game on a good night. This is a good sign for him to get his confidence up and his momentum going, because he's the one player that might be slept on, but he could give you double digits at any night.
He only averages 5 per game, but he only plays 16 minutes per game. If his minutes expand, yes, there's potential for doing a lot of damage. Doesn't make this one. And he cannot get the rebound in bounds. It'll go back to Wilmington in front 15-14. 12:38 left in the opening half. Dominican got off to a good start, but Wilmington has recovered following the break after 4 minutes. This one is almost picked off by Dickerson, who, like Elvis, is everywhere right now. Creedle. On him is Dickerson. In his face. Going to make life difficult for him. Has to swing it back for Perkins. Perkins is saying, come near me. On him is Maynard. A couple of steps maybe, but Hawkins finds the invisible footstool and scores.
I like the big fellow Hawkins. He could face up. He got a knack of scoring around that basket.
17-14, Wilmington in front. 12 left in the opening half. Dickerson in front of Cade. Chuck back out now for Jaden Honis. Kirk doesn't shoot yet. Aggressive defending by the Wildcats. Able to make something happen. Was Ador is hitting the deck in a restricted area. No charge is going to be called tonight. It looks like in that instance was Hawkins.
I think that was a great play on. Great decision by the official right there.
So they're letting them play. And we've got a whistle. Foul's going to be called here. It'll be against Dominican. 11:27 left in the opening half. The score is 17-16. The Wildcats leading the Chargers against the quarterfinal round of the CACC tournament as, well, Joe Clinton looking for the next call, I am sure. Just named the CACC men's basketball coach of the year. Normally what happens when you end up as the overall number 1 seed in your conference tournament. You can use Twitter to keep up latest news information about the Dominican Chargers. The handle is Chargers of DU. That is Chargers of DU on X. The returns as we see them Both teams are 7 of 14 from the field. Wilmington is 2 of 6 from 3. Dominican is 1 of 3 from 3. Wilmington 1 of 2 from the line. Dominican is 1 of 3. Matt talked about turnovers earlier. Dominican with just 3. Wilmington has cleaned things up relative to the last game against DU. Only 2 so far. Here's the big number. Of the 3 turnovers by Dominican, 5 points off of them by Wilmington. No points by Dominican off the 2 turnovers by the Wildcats here in the early going. The Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference fosters outstanding academic achievement and meaningful engagement with the community while maintaining a highly competitive athletic atmosphere. For more information on the conference, visit caccathletics.org. Again, caccathletics.org. So now we've taken a bit of a breath here after a chaotic start. Has anything jumped out at you so far?
Justin Perez has jumped out to me. 12 points thus far for this Wilmington team. 12 points out of the 17 points for Wilmington. That tells me the DU Chargers team need to do a better job communicating defensively on where Perez is. Whoever's matchup that is needs to take that to heart and make sure they start to cool him down, because you do not want momentum to carry on into the second half and have this team think that they could beat you.
Sent back now as the Wildcats resume hostilities. Hawkins tries to get around his man. We got a whistle, and he walked with it. Well, he did more than walk with it, but that's the official call into the scorebook. 11-11 is left for the opening half. They say when there's 11-11 left on the clock, make a wish. Wilmington leading by 1. Jaden Honis playing catch right now. In it came for Kirk. Kirk with a hop. Able to get some help and not able to put it in was Adore. I think he was feeling some duress, and so Wilmington will escape here. Perkins, it's rotated clockwise as the Wildcats just trying to be patient here, but trying to be very decisive against a stingy Dominican team defensively. Perkins looks to make a move. And this one is intercepted to sent to nobody. Jaden Honis cannot get around. It's some good D by Creedle. Did he get caught in between hop mentally there? And so inbounding it. Somebody's got to go back there and get it as continue to plead his case is Jaden Honis. On him is Creedle. In front it came and a foul is called as the intended target was Dickerson. It's on Walter. That is his first, team third, as Dickerson will go to the line to shoot 2. Dickerson shooting 67% from the line this season. Misses the first.
Now this is unacceptable for the Chargers. This team is shooting 64% on the year from the free throw line. If they want to go deep into the CAC and pull this thing off and go into the tournament, you have to make foul shots. The game is going to come down to free throws when you're playing a good team and in a tight situation. And the way you come out of that is by making free throws.
From the left wing, making it look good at the same time is Alexander. It was Horsey. Meanwhile, it's kept alive only for a moment. Not able to save it with Adore, and so it goes back to the Wildcats. Approaching the point of the first half, Wilmington in front, 20-17. Winner of this game will play Bridgeport. UB winning on the road against Chestnut Hill, 85-81. As Bridgeport making foul shots down the stretch. They were only 7 of 13 in that department for the game, but they're not going to care too much. They are moving on. Perkins, quickly, and not so quietly. A good save made by Perez, who is back out there. Perkins slows it down for Perez, who comes across. Not even up with Creedle, he does. Creedle able to draw contact to go to the line. As the foul is going to be against Maynard. That is his first, team third, 9:53 left. Isaiah Creedle makes the first point of the night. Creedle 73% for the line this season. Makes them both. And Wilmington is up by 5, their largest lead of the game. Maynard. Telling Peters to move it. Plays catch with Morris. Now he takes a 3. Yes! He was left by himself. He was going to make that shot.
And I'll tell you about this kid Maynard. He hits big shots in timely situations as he's done in the past.
Marchant is down the 2. Perkins for Horsey. Back to Perkins. Lets it fly. Off the front of the rim. Pulled down by Smith. Dominican will be quick and decisive here. Morris looks to try through. This one is swatted away. Good D again. This time by Alexander. No, pardon me, it was Water. They're everywhere right now. Underneath, Creedle, and 1! Smith could not get back in time as Isaiah Creedle with a big, big bucket.
And I'll tell you something, I really like this kid Perkins right here. He's really a floor general. I would like to see him valuing that basketball and having less turnovers, but something that he does well is he runs this offense and he breaks down defenses. He gets into the paint and he finds his teammates in scoring opportunities like we just saw on that last possession.
Marchant is back to 5. Wilmington has punched above its weight so far. They lost big here to Dominican earlier in the season in the only meeting between the teams. Peters can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line. As this one will be against Creedle. The team's first personal against Creedle with 8:49 left in the half. Peters to the line to shoot 2. Peters on the game. Has not missed from the field yet, has 5 points and an assist. Is 1 of 2 from the line. Deep breath, as Matt has said, every foul shot's going to matter tonight. First one a bit too long. Chance Morris will step out. In comes Isaiah Honis. I think that was Jalen Horsey coming back in. Both teams exchange some pawns for rooks right now. Peters makes the second. Marchant back to 4, 8:49 left in the opening half. It's intercepted. And putting it off the glass and in is Isaiah Honis. I don't want to call that a lazy inbound by Creedle, but he did not have much on it.
Well, let me tell you about this Chargers team is the best in the country at forcing turnovers. You have to be very mindful and value that basketball.
Perkins. Almost holding his hand was Maynard. Walter. Looks to cut around Smith. Can't. Smith strong on his feet. Back it came and letting it fly. Not able to get the bounce was Perez. That's a critical miss because Perez was so good out of the gate. Honis. Peters. Doesn't shoot. Wise decision. Jaden Honis looking around. Perkins staring him down. That's cooked back out. Now inside it came. Too hard, but on the rebound, no! 0 for 2 in that instance for Smith. But a big offensive board. Extra wide trailer open for 3 is Maynard. He misses. Trying to volley it back was Smith. And almost losing it. Now he does. Is Creedle. What chaos, as Mike Emmerich would say at the rink. 7:46 left in the opening half. Both teams, I think, will benefit from a bit of a breather here. The Wildcats in front 25 to 23. If you're each coach, what do you tell your team right now for the next minute or two as you get ready for the next 4-minute segment of this craziness?
Well, Wilmington, they're doing a good job. If I'm that coach, we're sticking to our guns. We're sticking to our game plan. We're up 2 points right now. So I'm not changing anything right now until the Chargers show me differently. They need to do a good job, though, of keeping the Chargers out of the paint, however. I will say that. Now, with this Chargers team, you have to understand in playoff basketball, you could be playing the worst team in the conference. You're going to get the best version of them. They have nothing to lose. They're the last seed. They're playing for everything. That's fine. Let the game play yourself. You stick to your game plan. You keep playing. You're communicating defensively. you stick it to the game plan, and as the game goes on, you hope to eventually start to wear down this Wilmington team.
Division 2 gives thousands of students a chance to get high level scholarship athletics while excelling in a classroom and fully engaged in a broader campus experience. Learn how you can make it yours. Visit ncaa.org/D2. Again, ncaa.org/D2. Again, those who missed it earlier, Bridgeport defeating Chestnut Hill 85-81. That is who the winner of this game will get at Jefferson on Saturday. From the field right now, Dominican, 43%. Wilmington, 50%. They've each made 9 buckets. Dominican has taken 3 more shots here. From the line, Dominican 3 out of 7. Wilmington 4 out of 5. Turnovers, Wilmington with 6. Dominican with 4. Points off turnovers, just 3 for Dominican. As that 3 is a bit too strong from Jaden Honis. Of the 4 turnovers by Dominican, Wilmington has converted them to 7 points, so they've been timely here.
Absolutely. This Wilmington team is doing a good job at capitalizing off of the DU turnovers and mistakes.
Walter now for Perez. Inside it comes, trying to spin around, and a foul is called against Smith as Hawkins, the two of them just barely traded some DNA. It is the second on Smith, 5th against the Chargers. Hawkins goes to the line to shoot 2.
Hawkins is playing to his game. He wants to be physical with Manny. He has the size. He has the strength over Manny. That's why he was able to convert these 2 fouls on Manny. Manny has to be mindful now and know that he's not going to win the strong man competition. But he has the height. He has the length. He has the quickness off of his feet. He has to utilize his attributes to his strength.
Hawkins with 5 points, 1 of 3 from the line, 2 of 3 from the field, has 4 rebounds and an assist.
Essentially, you don't fight fire with fire. You just pour a little water on fire and it's out of there.
Even if it's just an eyedropper. Makes the second, margin back to 3. Jaden Honis as the full court press is on. It's broken. Isaiah Honis. A bit too strong, and it's taken by Walter, who almost lost it to Isaiah Honis. Quickly, Perez, a bit short. Gobbled up by Maynard. Out of the gate he comes, trying to outrun all the thoroughbreds. It comes to Jaden Honis again. Into the corner. Isaiah Honis. Mid-range jumper, a bit short, trying to get his own rebound, but out of his way, it's Walter, who now gets it for Perez. Perez! Yes, sir! Wanted an and one, doesn't get it. Bit of a break, perhaps, for the Chargers. Margin is up to 5 with 6.5 left in the opener.
Perez is on pace for a 20 ball at the half.
Yes, he's got 12, and he's 5 of 8 from the field. He's been that good. Inside now for Adore. Switched it off, blocked, as Peters was trying to get there, but I think it was Hawkins that got a bit on it. Perkins looks to sweep it back, as he will. As the Wildcats will try to slow things down a bit here. It's Perkins. Perkins. Kick save and a beat by Jaden Honis, but I don't think he's going to be all that he trades in the NHL. If you need a goal, they're not looking his way. A fresh 20 for the banker here for the Wildcats with 6:05 left in the opener. Important reset here for Perkins. Calling for the ball, but not getting was Horsey. And it came for Hawkins!
I think the miscommunication right there on that pick and roll. Tyler showed too early, and Hawkins understood that, and he slipped it. And then you have Perkins, who's very mindful of dropping that off to the big fella who was rolling to the basket.
Joe Clinton needed a hug there on the sidelines after the ball went through the hoop. For 3, though, answering right back.
And I tell you, that kid got some cojones on him because he makes big shots in timely matters. And I'm talking about Bam.
Margin is back to 4 with 5:20 left. Yes, we've got a lot happening here as Maynard. No! He did pick up the foul. Hawkins was able to put down the shoulder and get some contact. And hometown fans not happy with the call here. It'll be the 16th foul against the Chargers.
So I was about to say that was a good defensive play because I thought Bam Maynard was vertical when he contested that shot. However, the official saw something else. Maybe there was some A to B movement, and he made contact with the offensive player. But seeing a guard and a big fella meet at the rim, and a guard is vertical, I thought that was a play on.
How many times in a generation of the past we've seen Jordan go up against big guys like that and either draw the contact and get a three-point play or be able to squeeze by, tongue out, and slip it in. It didn't happen here, but Hawkins makes 1 out of 2. He now has 9 for the game with 4 rebounds, and the margin is back to 5. Jaden Honis looks around. The pressure is on. Got it to White, who's checked into the game now. Kirk, baseline, off the window, can't get it in. Rebound and 1. And Orr gets the job done.
Now, if I'm this Wilmington team, I don't understand why they are deciding to press right now. They have been falling back in the zone for the whole time in this first half, which has been working in their favor. Why move away from that, and why get away from that? If it's not broken, do not fix it. They are starting to press right now, and I think that will start to change the momentum for the Chargers.
Well, did somebody say something? I didn't see anything physically. No, they were just checking to make sure that the foul was on Hawkins. For a second, I thought somebody had said something, and there might be a technical or something at the end of the play. But instead, Tyler goes to the line to get rid of a three-point play here. He has played well. He has 4 points and a rebound, but can't get one to drop in. And if you're the Chargers, you don't want foul shots to be your undoing here. Wilmington, give them credit. Dan Burke had them ready to go. Here's Perez. And he has 14 points, has 6 of 9 from the field, but he'll pass off here. Connected now, Alexander. Good rotation, Perkins from the parking lot. Largest lead in the ball game for the Cats at 6. Jaden Honis. Going to be spread eagle as Perez. Tries to cut around. Runs out of real estate. Able to keep it alive, though. Gets it back in the corner. Doesn't shoot. Lost it. I think he was looking towards the bucket and lost the handle. It is Walter. Foul line. Jumping. Off the high glass the other way. As buying the call was Kirk. Each team now with 6 fouls. The Parades are ready to go with 4:11 left in the opening half. Wilmington. They are mighty right now, leading the top-ranked Chargers 34-28. Right now, Dominican is down to 39% from the field. Wilmington shooting approaching 55%. Turnovers are 7-5 Wilmington. But off those 7 turnovers, only 3 points for the Chargers. That's something that Clinton and company need to address quickly. Isaiah Honis got it for Jaden. Jaden now for Kirk. Kirk looking for space, denied. Back for 3 and making is Jaden Honis.
Now Kirk, you got to give credit to Kirk on that play right there. By him driving into the basket, he was able to draw the defender, the help side defender, away from Honis, which was able to set him up for that 3-point shot.
Horsey got too close to Isaiah Honis. Maynard with a left, gets his own rebound, reset himself, lost it, and it'll stay with Dominican, but a great play anyway by Hiram Alexander. 3:25 is left here in the opening half. The Wildcats, nothing to lose, nothing to prove. They have played very well tonight. They lead Dominican by a score of 34-31. Chargers fans shouldn't have to work hard to find other Chargers fans. You can use Facebook connect with fellow supporters of Dominican Athletics while keeping up to date with news and events. Check it out at Dominican Charger Athletics. Again, Dominican Charger Athletics on Facebook. One more time, the rest of the tournament will be at Jefferson. Both semifinals and the title game. Men's and women's semifinals on Saturday, title on Sunday. In men's action, final score 85-81. Bridgeport winning at Chestnut Hill. The winner of this game will play Bridgeport on Saturday. Final score, Post defeating Gully Beacom 76-68. And late in the first half at Jefferson, the Rams leading Caldwell by a score of 44-30. Women's scores. Dominican earlier tonight over goalie Beacom, 76-61. The Chargers will play Holy Family, Big Post, 71-65. In the other half of the bracket, Jefferson takes care of Felician, 75-57. And this one is over. Caldwell takes care of Chestnut in a women's game, 61-51. The Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference, NCAA Division II Conference with 12 member institutions. Keep an eye for news and breaks. Follow its official Twitter account at CACC01. Again, CACC01 on X. Justin Perez, 14 points. 6 of 9 for the field, 2 of 4 for 3 for Wilmington. He has cooled off a little bit. Have the Chargers done anything recently to defend him better?
The Chargers are, as a team, yes. I wouldn't say they're on him essentially, but as a team, yes, they have done better as a team defensively.
For 3, a bit too strong from Kirk, and that one hops over the fence for a ground rule double. Dominican, 6 from Jaden Honis, 6 from Maynard, 6 from Peters, 4 from Morris, 4 from Medor. They've had some depth. They've had 7 different guys score. For Wilmington, Perez has 14 that leads the building. And trying to throw, everybody goes down. And I think because he had his hands on the ball as it hit the baseline, turning it over, not his fault, it was Alexander. So again, before I was interrupted, Perez with 14, Hawkins with 9, Creedle has 5, Horsey and Perkins each with 3. So right now it's Perez, the difference for the Wildcats. Dominican clearly the deeper team. Isaiah Honis kicked out for White. Now he'll shoot. A bit too strong and knocked out of bounds by Jaden Honis. Perkins was not at fault there, so Wilmington will maintain possession. The press is here. And this one is thrown away. It does its job, and the Chargers get the ball back. It's quite simple, isn't it? Just converge on the guy with the ball in the corner of the court, right?
Well, it's easier for us to stay out here and say they have to value that basketball. And when you're facing someone like Josh White, who was a tough, elite defender, no matter what level of college basketball is in front of you.
Isaiah Honis. Flip back to Maynard, who'll just lock and fire. This one jumped off the front of the rim. It's picked up and brought back quickly by Perez. On him is Maynard. Out now for Perkins. Perkins looking for assistance. It goes off of Creedle, who gets it back. Fires a 3. That was a bad idea, even by the lofty standards set by Olivia Rodrigo. Not able to get it to go was Jaden Honis, but it'll go to the line. That is the 7th team foul against Wilmington, so Dominican now in the bonus. It's the first foul against Jalen Horsey. Jaden Honis to the line to shoot 2. 6 points on the night, 2 of 4 from the field. All of his attempts from 3. 1 rebound, 1 assist. Out comes Maynard. In comes Morris.
The Chargers got some really good minutes from Bam Maynard stepping in the game right here in the playoffs. I really like what I saw from Bam in this first half. Gave us a good 6 points when it was not looking that good for the Chargers, and this Wilmington team was about to pull away.
He was 2 for 4 from 3. I don't recall any of those 3-point attempts being bad shots either. Wasn't like he was forcing them. Perkins looks now for Perez. Perez. On him is Morris. Playing catch right now, Perez. Flakes left, turns right, lost the ball. It's pickpocketed by Morris. Morris has a lane. Yes, sir! And the Chargers are back in front. A deep breath by all assembled, players or otherwise. Perez. Now in the corner for Alexander, who tries to extend a little bit. In it came. Perkins put on the brakes. Tries to come around. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line. And Perkins might have tossed the ball back in the direction of an unsuspecting Isaiah Honis. We officially have a boiling cauldron, don't we? First foul of the game against Morris. That is the team 7th. As Denham Perkins, who has played well tonight, will go to the line. Has 3 points, 3 assists. Has made some very good decisions to the basketball. Makes the first. Some substitutions as White will leave for Dominican. In comes Dickerson. As Cradle will depart, in comes Walter. Makes the second. Wildcats back in front. Jaden Honis. Notice not sign language. He's calling out a play. Morris got it back to him. Now for Kirk. Honis for 3. Yes.
First team all conference, Jaden Honis. You got to be mindful of someone that scores the basketball so well. You can't give him that much room.
And there was it's a foul, pardon me. I thought it was a turnover.
It is a turnover.
Yes,
you had an offensive foul right there.
Well, it does go to book officially, the turnover right now. There's a timeout on the court. I believe Wilmington calling for time as Dan Burke realized he does not want the game to escape here in the final minute of the first half. His team has played better than I think most people expected. Dominican only in front by a score of 38-36. Jaden Honis leading the Chargers, 11 points, 3 of 5 from the field, all 3-point attempts, 2 of 2 from the line. Support from Morris with 6 points, as well as Maynard and Peters. The door has 4, Dickerson with 3, Isaiah Honis with 2 points. This is definitely a deeper team than Wilmington, Dominican, correct?
Yes, absolutely. But
so does that mean that we should expect that Lungs will carry Dominican potential in the second half, even though we're still not there yet? Will Lungs and legs potentially give Dominican an edge if the game is still close?
I think right in playoff basketball, it comes to will, discipline, and getting those 50-50 balls. Those 50-50 loose balls, recovering them.
A long shot of the timeout from Jaden Honis, but it's given away. No, it's going to stay with the Wildcats as they might have caught a huge break there. Again, Wilmington with 8 fouls. Dominican with 7. Possession arrow, Wilmington. But they've got some margin for error here. Walter will coast through, delivers it over to Alexander. Alexander now has his first bucket of the game. 38-38. Morris. Isaiah Honis. Back it came. Able to negotiate it was Morris. Now for the other Honis. Rotated well. Great ball movement. Chance Morris for 3. Brings it. And he kisses somebody, but I'm sure it was not Walter. At least trying to blow one of them. Intercepted. Given right back, but blowing the layup was Dickerson. And swatted away by Alexander as Morris was looking for a gimme. Tremendous defending by the Wildcats as they slurp up the spilled milk with a straw.
Absolutely. Good defense right there by this Wilmington team. And now the momentum of the game, the pace of the game, the tempo of the game is speeding up quickly, and we're seeing Wilmington having more turnovers than necessary. Perkins needs to do a good job of getting his team under order and seeing that, hey, this is a close one. Let's value this basketball and not just give it away.
11 turnovers by Wilmington, but only 8 points off turnovers by Dominican. 5 seconds left in the half. Isaiah Honis gets his own rebound. Can't get it back into the bucket, and time runs out. Was Isaiah Honis too selfish there at the end?
Nah, but Isaiah Honis, one of the better players on this team.
Welcome back to the Hennessy Center. Here at the campus of Dominican University, New York, here on the CACC Network. Second half about to begin. Top seeded Dominican only leading Wilmington 41-38. You've got that box score right in front of your nose, Matt. What was the story of the first half, and how does it influence the second potentially?
Well, like I said, to start this game, the season is 0-0. You're going to get the best version of the team you're playing tonight. And that's what we saw in this first half with this Wilmington team. They played very well as a team offensively with Perez scoring 14 points and defensively with slowing down the Chargers.
Good D there by Smith to knock it out of bounds on a timer. So now that they've seen the best version of WilmU, what does DU do here in the second half to adjust defensively?
Well, DU has to communicate defensively and know where this kid Perez is as we see him drive to the basket. Secondly, they need to contest shots, right? This team is shooting the ball, I believe, 50% from the field. That means they're not communicating well, and that means they are not contesting shots. So I like to see the DU Chargers communicate better defensively and contest shots as well as communicate defensively.
Perez, 6 of 9 for the field, 2 of 4 from 3. First trip to the line tonight. He'll make that one. Also has 3 rebounds, now has 15 points. If you are WilmU, you're not quite playing with house money. You don't have the lead, but do you change much of anything?
Well, they're losing the rebound game. What wins championships is rebounding and defense. They're down a -3 margin in winning the rebound game. Basketball is games within games. If you want to win this game and you want to win the championship, you have to defend the basketball and you have to rebound. So this Wilmington team needs to win this rebound game if they want to win this game.
Before this game even started, Matt had red and blue ink on his notes telling me that he had gotten every single tea leaf that he possibly could in advance of this game. Now to make that shot was Chance Morris, and now the Cats have a chance to take the lead back. Good dribbling here, patience by Waller, but it's knocked away as Dominican will come back quickly. It's Jaden Honis, kicks it back out to Isaiah. Doesn't shoot, gets closer, works it back out for Morris. Back it came for Isaiah, who is short, badly short. Ball is on the deck, it's still loose. And looking for help was Perkins, able to break dance and start a counterattack. That was important because the possession arrow is DU. Not able to finish, though, was Hawkins. A rare miss for him that close. It's outletted quickly, and a foul hard on Peters as getting in there into his kitchen and taking the ham sandwich away after picking the lock on the fridge was Alexander.
Well, this is playoff basketball. You're not going to get an easy basket. This Wilmington team is not trying to get on that bus with a loss. They're trying to win.
Peters goes to the line to shoot 2. Did he make an attempt to play the ball? That's not an intentional foul there, right? No, it was hard, but did he make any attempt to play the ball there?
I'm old school. I'm throwback. I love a good physical foul. I think that's a good foul.
Okay. So even if there wasn't, it's still okay. It's just a common foul. To the line, it'll be Elijah Peters to shoot 2. Peters on the night. Let's see. He has 6 points. 2 of 3 from the field, 2 of 4 from the line with an assist. Makes the first one. Foul shots will undoubtedly be important in a game that is this tight already. From the line tonight, DU is now 6 of 11. Wilmington is 10 of 13. They're not just making them, they are going to the line at will. They are paying the price. Making the second one is Peters. He now has 8 points. Press will start again. And it's intercepted by Peters. This one is volleyed into the cable on top of the backboard. It'll stay with Dominican, but some good D by Wilmington to bail that one out.
Now, Wilmington had 11 turnovers in that first half. I say 12 or less turnovers per game. If they want to win this game, they can have no more turnovers. There's no more room for error with turning this basketball over.
Jaden Honis gets the rebound. The one saving grace for Wilmington right now is that the 13 turnovers, only 8 points off of them for Dominican. So they're 4 of 13. Not a good percentage. Roughly 30%. Shifted now. Bit of a kick play. Back to the corner, but able to make that shot quickly was Perez, and able to save it was Morris. Able to get it for Isaiah Honis, and a timeout is called immediately by Dan Burke, who does not like what he sees. He had some good energy out of the gate in the second half, but the Chargers, sort of the judo way, using the energy against the Wildcats. They're now back up by 7.
Well, Coach Burke called a good timeout right there. The Chargers are starting to get away with this in this second half. This team has played, I'm talking about Wilmington, they played so good in this first half. You do not want to let all your hard work go away right now. But I'll tell you one thing that the Chargers are doing. The Chargers are beating the defense down court. That's what I was saying to myself in the first half. You need to beat this team, the defense down court. The Chargers are beating Wilmington's defense down court, and they have gotten some few easy baskets to go along with some turnovers that they caused in this in the second half.
Dominican University of New York sponsors 17 NCAA Division II sports. The athletic department has an Instagram page with photos you won't find anywhere else. Visit Instagram.com/DUAthleticsNY. Again, DUAthleticsNY on Instagram. A quick recap of the tournament for both sides. We'll start with the men here. As I take one last look, the winner of this game gets Bridgeport, which won at Chestnut Hill 85-81. Winner of the game between Jefferson and Caldwell plays Post. Post beat Goldie Beacom 76-68. Checking on that other score right now. 15 minutes left in the second half. Jefferson leading Caldwell by a score of 53-42. The women, they are set. Dominican with a 76-61 win over Goldie Beacom earlier tonight. They'll play Holy Family, who beat Post 71-45. Other half of the bracket, Jefferson took care of Felician 75-57. Caldwell will play Jefferson. They beat Chestnut Hill 61-51. Critical possession out of the timeout. Waller looking for assistance. Able to shake the coverage briefly. Deep concentration. Waller looks for room, but giving him none is Jaden Honis. Now he tries from 13 feet. Humpty Dumpty finds favor with the Wildcats.
Well, Waller got that basket to drop, and I know his team is happy. I'll be happy too if I was Wilmington. But the ball cannot stay in his hands the entire possession, as we just saw.
And one! Maybe not the way that Isaiah Honis planned it, but he water polos that ball down to the cylinder.
Strong play and take to the basket. That's how you finish what we just saw from Isaiah Honis.
That is the second team foul against Wilmington here at 2:59. It's the third personal, against Trey Hawkins, who has played well. And he's going to go have a seat for now as Dan Burke wants to make sure that he's back for the finish.
Well, that's going to hurt this Wilmington team with Hawkins, who has been playing so good for this Wilmington team. Right behind Justin Perez, who has 14. Hawkins has 9. So that hurts him. Someone so valuable having to come off the court because he's in foul trouble.
Water will go to the line. Second team foul against Dominican at 3:07, the second personal against Isaiah Honis.
But I might have to take that back because Waller looked like he's starting to ball and he's starting to turn up. These last two possessions, he has been putting the heat and some pressure on the DU defense.
First one does not go. Waller will get a second chance here. Waller's effort has certainly been noticeable tonight. He has not left the court much. He only has 2 points, but he has 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Makes the second. Margin back to 7. Alexander trying to cause some trouble, but dribbling quickly is Jaden Honis. In for Morris. Now for Isaiah Honis. Morris will settle things down as Isaiah had that knocked away from him. Tremendous D again by Wilmington as Water was responsible for it. Now here comes Creedle. Creedle with a hop, skip, and a jump. Does not get the bucket, but it'll go to the line.
Kudos to Waller, who started this whole possession right here defensively, getting that steal. The last 2 possessions, as I said, offensively has been a menace thus far, and then getting that defensive steal. He's kind of picking up right now for Hawkins being in foul trouble.
First personal against Peters. Fourth team here at 3:30 against Dominican. As I thought there was going to be a shooting foul, but I think right now everybody just trying to keep this court dry. In a game earlier this evening, it's not cold outside, it's not incredibly hot, but I think some early March moisture has found its way in as Creedle makes the first one, now has 6 points, is 4 of 4 from the line of the game with 3 rebounds and an assist. Has provided a lot of energy, especially defensively. Makes the second. Back to 5. Jaden Honis. Isaiah. Now for Morris. Smith trying to be patient. Tries to curl around. No basket. Foul on the floor, they say. Looks like this one will be against Creedle. That's his second, team third at 3:46. And right now the parades look like they'll be starting early. Jaden Honis, stutter step, back out for Morris for three. Just a bit too hard. It's juggled, and they're going to say it is off Peters.
I disagree with that one right there. I thought it was clearly off the Justin Perez.
And Perez and Peters have something to say to each other as they shove off. And we begin again as the Wildcats break the press quickly. Perez. No. Put back. No. Third chance swatted away. Waller thought he had something, and Smith said, no, the only thing missing, the Dikembe Mutombo finger wag.
Now, if I'm the Chargers, I do not like that last transition offensive set. Why? Because Wilmington got out in the break. They missed the layup, and they had 2 or 3 opportunities to get that offensive rebound while the Chargers was lollygagging back down court and did not run as fast as they can. That's what I would have liked to see. Now, Manny Smith, one of the premier shot blockers in the country, was able to make up for that because he was able to block the shot.
4:04 gone. Latter half, Dominican, top seed in the tournament, leading Wilmington at only 50-45. Dominican University, thanks you for watching today's game of the official digital network of the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference. It encompasses all divisional programming from the CACC, including all Dominican home events. The CACC network, powered by Huddle TV. For the game, Justin Perez leads the building, has 16 points for Wilmington, 6 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line with 3 rebounds. 3 rebounds. Jaden Honis leads Dominican. 13 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Leading rebounder in this game, Emmanuel Smith, has 9 for Dominican. Doesn't have any points, but he's basically been a goalie tonight for Dominican. As for Wilmington, Manir Waller only has 3 points, but he has 7 rebounds. A couple of offensive, very, very timely right now. Shot clock down to 19. Horsey checks it. Off his leg, but it came to Waller. Perkins. On him is Morris. Shifted for Horsey. Now it is Waller. Waller. Good kick out. Making a nice catch was Perkins. Got off the awkward shot. Probably shouldn't have taken it. And able to get it through on a second attempt was Creedle. Margin back to 3. Honis. Got it back for Morris. Jaden still with it. Rotated to Peters. Now for Morris. Isaiah Honis being patient. Got it back for Morris. Morris? No, but he'll go to the line. 4th team foul against Wilmington at 4:49. It's going to be against Creedle, and that is his 3rd. So he's got 3. So does Trey Hawkins. He is still on the bench. Nobody for Dominican has 3 yet. Taking the first one is Chance Morris, now has 10 points. First trip to the line tonight, 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Out comes Isaiah Honis, and in comes Jules Dickerson, who has seen some decent minutes tonight, has 3 points. If they can make these foul shots, Dominican will find a way to stay a step ahead of the Wildcats, but it might be a baby step with how well the Wildcats have defended in this game. Waller gets ready to put the ball back in for Perkins. Dickerson trying to cut off the cross-court pass. It might have been deflected, but it ultimately got to the target. It's broken through. Deflected, somehow kept alive. Down goes Perkins. What chaos again. The foul's going to be on Jaden Honis. That is the team's 4th at 5:02. That is his 2nd. And the drum major has told the tuba player, get tuned up quickly. We might be going soon, and now they put out the metal detector. One of the game going on the men's side. 12 minutes left, second half. Jefferson leads Caldwell by a score of 60-48. Yep, strange thing about basketball. Caldwell in that game is shooting 53%, but they're trailing by 12. Waller on him is Smith. Tries to barge his way through, swung out of bounds. Good D by Kirk. 9 left of the timer. Wilmington cannot lollygag here. Yes, now he's got me using that word. I've watched Bull Durham too much. I've been to Durham's ballpark too much. Here comes Creedle. Might have run with it a little bit. Doesn't get the shot to go in. Dickerson outlets it for White. White, good touch pass. Able to bank it in is Kirk. Kirk gets his first bucket of the ball game. Margin back to 7. Perkins, double. Long pass down court as Creedle muffs the shot. Can't get the rebound to go. And that's a big break for Dominican. Were they just simply watching the play that time, Matt?
Yeah, they need to do a better job. These teams, they're getting too many second chance opportunities in this second half. The Chargers need to do a better job communicating on who's going to get that rebound. If not, I like to see a gang rebound where all 5 players are going to the basket or boxing out.
Does that leave somebody open for a kick out, though, which Wilmington has hit tonight? As it's brought back by Honis. Honis with a ball! No! He somersaults and will go to the line. So, yes, if they're able to collapse in the lane, does that leave Wilmington open for a long 3 if they don't get that rebound?
It maybe not. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out.
Jaden Honis back to the line. 13 points. 4 of 7 for the field, 3 of 6 from 3. 2 rebounds, 2 assists tonight. Dominican now 11 out of 16 from the line. Wilmington is 13 out of 17. Out comes Horsey. In comes Hawkins. If this was poker, we've now hit the river card. Hawkins has played well, has 9 points, 4 rebounds, but he has 3 fouls. Second is made. Nobody has reached 4 fouls yet. But again, Hawkins and Creedle each have 3, and Wilmington is just not as deep as Dominican. This one is knocked out of bounds, but again, it feels like the home run pass is continuing to get hit.
There needs to be better communication from DU on the back line of that press.
Perkins looks for help. It's deflected away by Dickerson. Who I think is claiming that Dickerson had encroached over the baseline, but the man with the whistle says, I'm right there. He's not. Right on top of it, but he's not over it. He's not touching it. Losing the ball was Hawkins, and he will lose it. Good defending by Smith.
Manny Smith, the big fella, agile with those feet. Good defensive possession right there, causing Hawkins to turn that basketball over.
White with a big possession as the Chargers trying to go back in front by double figures. In it came for Kirk. Kirk foul line. Off the rim, out of the reach of Smith. Brought back quickly by the Wildcats. In transition. Beautiful moves by Water, but couldn't finish out of bounds. It'll stay with Wilmington. As Water, I think, was begging for a call, but it never came. And I think it was Dan Burke that said got him on the elbow. And it came, the call to reach in here. 15 foul against Dominican at 6:28. And this one is against Jaden Honis. That is his third. First guy for the home team to get to 3. And he has 15 points tonight. The plot has now twisted a bit for the Chargers. Perez, who was hot in the first 10 minutes of the game, throws it away. Here comes White. White has a lane and he's hacked. But I don't think it's going to be a shooting foul. He was not in the act. That is going to be the third against Alexander. team sixth. One parade float is ready to go. The tuba has been tuned, and so is the piccolo. As it looks like for a moment, it looks like White's going to exit. Did he get something in the... Oh, no, he's actually going to sit down now. Might be something in his lower body. So he'll have a seat, and back in comes Jaden Honis. I'm sure that's not what... that's a Chance Morris back in.
Morris, yep.
Okay. So Morris will come in. This one's deflected, but ultimately came to Kirk. Kirk tries to spin his way through, and he got it. Captain on the bridge. Kirk able to make that one. And that's a big bucket because the Chargers are back in front by 11. Perkins. In it came. Extra wide trailer open for three, and burying it is Alexander, and a timeout called by Wilmington as Dan Burke believes that an opportunity is coming. 13:01 is left here in the second half. Dominican now leads Wilmington 58-50. Make it yours by checking out the official Facebook home NCAA Division II Athletics. Go to facebook.com/NCAA Division II. Again, NCAA Division II on Facebook. Following the other game that's going on the men's side right now, Jefferson leads Caldwell by a score of 65-54 with 9:24 remaining. Again, winner of this game will take on Bridgeport, which beat Chestnut Hill on the road 85-81. Winner Jefferson Caldwell game will take on Post, who beat Golden Beacom 76-68. Total numbers for the game right now from the field. Dominican is shooting 39%. Wilmington shooting 41%. Wilmington has missed a couple here and there. Here in the second half from the line, Dominican is 12 out of 17. Wilmington 13 out of 17. Again, Wilmington with 16 fouls. Chargers with 5. Possession arrow belongs to Dominican. Turnovers. Wilmington with 16. That's a slew. But only 14 points off those turnovers by Dominican. 6 Dominican turnovers, 9 points off of Wilmington. Not quite Robin Hood conversion rate, but that has kept the Wildcats within shouting distance. Morris gets the green light. Got it in too hard for Jaden Honis. Kick back out for three. In! Humpty Dumpty was able to find a soft place to land from Dickerson, and now we've got a whistle.
Looks like Perkins is hurt right here. That's really gonna hurt this Wilmington team. That's the floor general of this Wilmington team. Has done a great job of, as I said, breaking down the defense and setting up his teammates. That one right there hurts this Wilmington team. As I was saying in the first half to start this game, Jules Dickerson is that kid to watch out for. That's a kid that could come off the bench and give you anywhere between 10 and 15 points. He's instant offense off of that bench if he sees that basket if he sees that ball going through the basket.
He's only got 6 points, but he's hustled defensively too. Cannot underscore the loss of Perkins right now. He's had a bit of a vibe that's carried over through his team and tried to do something strange with Smith. It's picked up by Jaden Honis. It's rescued. Settled by Kirk. Bit of a razzle-dazzle. Morris looking for assistance. He has a lane. And they're going to say held ball. It will stay with Dominican. 12 on the timer. So Hawkins with 3 fouls for Wilmington. Credo with 3 fouls. Alexander with 3. Perkins, a foot issue. Not able to finish was Chance Morris, but will go to the line. And it is the 7th team foul against Wilmington, so the parade can commence. And that is the 4th on Hiram Alexander. Chance Morris to shoot 2. Now has 12 points. He has 3 of 3 from the line with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. The plot continues to thicken as the Wildcats are starting to run out of answers. Second one is no good. And this one is given away. And wishing he had not done that. Looked like he was trying to. It looked like Trey Hawkins had a rugby background because that's the kind of pass that it looked like it was. And it goes out of bounds. 11:58 is now left in the second half. The Chargers are in a much better position right now than they were at halftime as the Wildcats continue to commit turnovers. Apple, cherry, and blueberry. It is 62-50 as the Chargers feel like they have some great momentum here as the second half continues on. The Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference, NCAA Division II Conference featuring 12 schools. It does have an Instagram page. You can check it out at CACC_athletics. That's CACC_athletics on Instagram. They are the top seed overall in the tournament. Dominican with 19 wins this season. They've played well at home. Conventional wisdom based on the rankings would tell you that they win this game and go to Jefferson. At the very least, they will be a lock for the Division II Men's Basketball Championship. But that's not the approach they're taking. They have been able to play very, very well and keep themselves mentally glued into the game despite a very pesky Wilmington side.
Well, let me tell you this. In playoff basketball, it's one game at a time. You never look ahead to where you could go or where you possibly could end up. You have to look at the team in front of you, and it's one day at a time.
So I suppose nobody's mentioned Bridgeport yet on that bench, but I'm sure that Joe Clinton probably knows what is going on. But he's not saying anything. He has seen this movie 1,000 times, I'm sure. Jaden Honis settles it down, 15 on the timer. So the Chargers must act quickly. Dickerson. Jaden Honis backs out, lets it fly. Yes, sir!
Hello. And we've seen why he was first team all-conference. Mr. Big Shot, Jaden Honis, knocking it down, shot after shot, the entire game.
18 points. He is 4 of 7 from 3. Press is broken. Perez looking to respond. Got off to a hot start. Has not done a whole lot since then. Horsey, no sir. It's grabbed by Kirk. Outlets it. And now Dominican has to be careful they don't get ahead of the game too much. Honis will try again. This one is a bit too strong to the right. And it's going to be Dominican basketball, as I do think it was the right decision by Hawkins to try to save it. And look who's back. It's Denham Perkins. He almost has to come back now, as having a seat will be Creedle. I think the Chargers will be wise to challenge him right away, like that. But able to finish was Kirk on a second attempt. Yes, sir! From the back, from on his back, able to see it go into Smith. And that one really hurts the Wildcats.
Yeah, this Wildcat team has been playing so good, especially in that first half. And that's the thing. Are you able to sustain your play throughout the entire game? They showed us that they could do it in the first half, and now it seems like they're having a little bit of trouble as this DU Chargers has picked up their intensity in the second half.
Manny Smith with his first bucket of the night has 11 rebounds. He has been the goalkeeper, to borrow terms from other sports. Perkins does not take the shot. Chucks it back. Rotated well. Perez has a lane. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line, and I think Smith had something to say, too, through his mouthpiece. He can't believe it's on him, but we can't believe it's not Butter. That's his third, team sixth. Perez, who I think scored 12 points in the first 10 minutes of this game, has only scored 4 points since then, makes this one. Is there anything you've seen with Perez that's caused him to cool off quite a bit here?
I think him just playing within the offense. He had those first 12 points because within the flow of the offense, he was open and he was taking shots. Now, he understands that this is playoff basketball. He can't do it by himself. He needs other teammates to get busy throughout the game so they can win. And I think he played within the offense, and now the offense has started to spread around to his other teammates.
Margin is 16. Window isn't closing yet for Wilmington, but they need to stop here. Kirk draws contact from Horsey.
Now, I'll tell you this about the kid, Coy Kirk. He is relentless at getting to that basket. A wing player that is strong, that can cut to the basket and drive to the basket and get into that paint at will and when he wants to.
Kirk has 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, so he's done a little bit of everything tonight. Foul, by the way, is on Horsey. That is his third. The Cats' ninth. Makes the first one, and with that make, as a team, Dominican is now 15 out of 21 from the line. Not a great percentage, but if they keep getting to the line, and I suspect that with this much time left they will, if they can make a few here, that's going to be awfully tough, if impossible. It's not impossible for the Cats to come back in this one.
But for this DU Chargers, this is actually great for them. They shoot 64% on the year, but tonight they're shooting 71%. They should be happy with that.
For those who wonder why I'm obsessed on free throws, I mentioned earlier I don't have much of a vertical because the only thing I could do. My parents' hometown is Liverpool, New York, across the street from Syracuse. As this one is off the rim, and there'll be a foul called here. More shots at the line for Wilmington coming up. It'll be a 17 foul against the Chargers, and it's the fourth against Smith.
I think coach is going to have to sub him out.
I would. You're up by 18. You don't want to cause a problem. He has played well. No, he's not scoring, but he's defending well.
I think you got to put the young kid Tyler Edor in.
Yep, the one thing that Jim Boeheim could get away with most of the time was when his team shot lousy from the foul line. That's why I'm so tough on it. And Smith will depart. Both remain. So right now on the floor for Dominican, it's Dickerson, Jaden Honis, Kirk, Peters, and here comes Morris. Was looking for his man Peters, some of that ball stayed in. Honis in for Dickerson. Had a moment. He sees his moment.
I'm telling you, this kid, Jules Dickerson, you got to be mindful of him. I'm not sure if he was on the scouting report or not, but I'm telling you, that kid could drop double digits any night, anytime he's on the court.
He now has 8. Hasn't played a whole lot, but he's been effective. As this will not go for Water, but it'll go to the line. 8th team foul against the Chargers with 9:14 still left here in regulation. It is the second foul against Morris. Yep, I might not be home until midnight if this keeps up. This one will be missed. First go round by Waller. Manir Waller, Waller has been a baller tonight. He has done a lot of things that are tough. He only has 3 points. He has shot 1 for 8 from the field. But he's had to focus on a lot of other things, and he misses them both. Brought back quickly. Here comes Honis. They're now up by 20, largest lead of the game. As this one is picked off in the end zone by Kirk. Brought back quickly by Honis. Honis swept it around, and rainbowing it in is Kirk. And I think Dan Burke now knows that the window has closed. 8:50 is left. A reminder to everybody who missed the top of the show, when the teams met in the regular season here back in January 18th, Dominican defeated Wilmington 97-68. Dominican only led by 18 at the half. This is a much closer game. Matt, you predicted this will be a much closer game. Is it lungs and legs, or are there other factors here that have caused the Chargers to pull away?
Let me tell you something. This game is not over yet.
Okay.
As I was saying earlier on, this Wilmington team has been playing outstandingly in the first half. But the key is when you're playing against the number one team in the Chargers, are you able to sustain that play in the first half throughout the game? Right? So now in this second half, we're seeing that they're starting to have trouble, that the Chargers defense is beginning to wear on them, 1. 2, the Chargers have changed their defensive press. They had a full court press. They dropped it down to like a 1-2-2, a softer press, but still aggressive. Now, as I was going to say to close out, 3, There's a lot of basketball left. This is playoff basketball. I do not care that we're up 22 points with 8 minutes. A lot of stranger things have happened. If you want to be a champion, if you want to go far in the tournament, you have to play all 40 minutes of the game, no matter if you're up 2 or if you're up 30.
Here it comes for Honis again. Misses a bit too strong. Pulled down by Dickerson. And work back for Kirk as the Chargers will take more time on the clock at the very least. Morris had an opening. Trying to fist it. Got his own rebound. Wait for somebody to commit. Can't get it to drop. It is volley. And it'll go back to the Wildcats. A bit chaotic, but Wilmington will take it. And Cradle gets fouled, I think unnecessarily here. It'll be a 1-and-1. It'll be on Kirk. And that is his first. Next foul for either team will be 2 shots, which means the Bagpipers will be here. Cradle will do a 1-and-1 here. Makes the first, gets a cookie. He'll get a second attempt here. Credle now with 10 points, 5 rebounds, has an assist. Is now 6 of 6 from the line tonight. Makes them both. It's a drop and a bucket. But as Matt says, no holes in the bucket. Play hard to the end. Nice catch made by Morris. Curls around Horsey. Morris doesn't get the shot to go, but it will be a 2-shot foul because that is now 10 on Wilmington with 7:57 left. That is on Horsey. That is his 4th with 7:57 left. Okay, here's who's in trouble. Here are the names on the board here. Hawkins with 4, Horsey with 4, Alexander with 4 for Wilmington. Credle also has 3. Perkins only has 1, but we don't know if his ankle is 100% or not. The options of a borderline miraculous comeback for the Cats are starting to dwindle. 4 Dominican. Smith has 4. They don't really need him this second. Jaden Honis has 3. That's who's in trouble right now. Jaden Honis with 20 points. That leads the building. 6 of 11 from the field. 4 of 9 from 3. 4 of 4 from the line. Also has 4 assists and 2 rebounds. We talk about Honis' scoring. Does his playmaking get enough credit?
Absolutely. Jaden Honis is a focal point for the defense, whether he is shooting the basketball or setting up his teammates. The defense is very mindful of him, and that gives the ability for other players on this Chargers team to get buckets.
We thank you for watching this game at Official Digital Network and the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference. It encompasses all original programming from the CACC, including all Dominican home events. The CACC Network, powered by Huddle TV. 2:58 left at Jefferson. The Rams lead Caldwell 77-69. That is the final piece of the puzzle besides this one. Winner of the game between Jefferson and Caldwell play post. Winner of this game gets Bridgeport. Looks more and more like it will be the Chargers. This one is spit out by the bucket from Morris. Morris tonight has been electric at times. Has 12 points. He's only 4 of 12 from the field. But his master takes some difficult shots. Misses the second one. He's now 3 of 5 from the line tonight. And somehow it's kept alive and scooped in. Great plays made by Elijah Peters to somehow tap dance like a cat in a hot tin roof to keep the ball alive.
And I say it time again and time and again. Elijah Peters always finds himself in the right spot at the right time.
Is that what is meant by high basketball IQ? Knowing not where the ball's at the moment, where it's going to be.
I'll tell you what it is, or what I think it is. He plays with such a work ethic and effort, and I think by him doing that, the ball just falls in his hands because he's working so hard.
So he's working that hard, and good things happen to you. Meanwhile, making the first one is Waller. That's the 10th foul on Dominican, by the way. It is the 3rd against Chance Morris. Walter, in and out, stuck at 4 points and 8 rebounds. It comes to Morris, who settles things down, and right now the Chargers are focused on good work habits. The game is relatively secure right now. Here comes Peters. Boom! Peters continues to be quick. He now has 10 points.
He's a blue-collar worker right there, Elijah Peters.
But he's not built like Larry the Cable Guy. He's not that blue collar. Although if he was, he would be hard to stop. Creedle lets it go. And not a smart decision by Jules Dickerson, fouling somebody in the act of shooting a three. So, imagine you're at the terminal gate. We're going to be here for a while as we board the plane because shooting three will be Creedle. Creedle on the evening, 11 points, 5 rebounds, has an assist, is 7 of 7 from the line. He tunes out the Glee Club. That's the first one. Perez has 18. Creedle now has 12. Hawkins with 9. Horsey, Perkins, and Alexander each with 5 for Wilmington. Walter has 4 for Dominican. Jaden Honis with 20. Chance Morris with 14. Peters with 10. Dickerson and Kirk each with 8. Isaiah Honis with 7. Maynard with 6. Edor with 4. Smith with 3. So he made all 3. Brussels sprouts and more Brussels sprouts. Peters drops it off now for Jaden Honis. Inside it came quickly to Dickerson with a quick hitter over the middle. He now has 8 points. I thought he might have had more, but he's hustled that much tonight. Back it came to the corner, letting it fly with Perkins, couldn't get it to come. Here comes Walter, lost it. And it's intercepted by Peters, who tries to work his way out of the corner, and he's able to give the slip. Brings it back. It was deflected, and finding his target out was Morris. Morris, second attempt. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line with 6:19 left. That is Perez's first foul of the game. It's part of the reason why he's been able to hang around all evening. He has 18 points, but again has not done much since the moving point of the first half. Here's a miss from Morris, who's now 3 of 7 from the line tonight. Still has 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Perez will sit. As looks like one of the referees is looking at his whistle. Or was it a nail? I'm not sure. As I think now Dan Burke has unplugged the kitchen sink. Looks like he's got his traditional three-point offense out there now. So they can make a game of it. They're down by 23. Walter gets it across the timeline. Horsey lets it go. Got it! The patient has a pulse. We can move him. Martin is 20. Dickerson will settle it down, and I think right now the Chargers best advised to take some time off the clock. Morris hands it off for Peters. Peters lost it. Kicked along. And taking his Creedle. Creedle scores, and a wise decision by Morris. Just let him go by. Not looking to give him a three-point play.
Peters have to be mindful on that. He just dribbled into 3 defensive players. The spacing was not right. He has to understand that as an offensive player, reading the defense and what's available to him.
Peters makes good there. The margin's back to 20 with 5:25 left. Perkins blinks left, turns right, this one's deflected. Here comes Morris. It's showtime. Decides not to jam and just bangs the drum slowly. He now has 17. Walter. Whipped out for Perkins. Perkins tries to come. No, says Dickerson, out of bounds. Dickerson getting it done defensively too. The rest of the country might be looking at this game and seeing that the Chargers have a lot of weapons and some of them aren't named Honis. Creedle steps back for three. Air ball. And I think now the window has closed. Question is for the Wildcats, is the glass bulletproof? They're down by 22 with 4:55 left. Dan Burke asking for something. Did he think that shot was deflected? Not sure. Morris into the corner, thinking about it. I'm sure it was Jaden Honis. Decides better of it. Kirk. Inside it came, and Dickerson will retread here. Honis. Jaden Honis. To Morris. Got it back from Peters. Inside it came, they got to hurry. Dickerson. Boom! Jules Dickerson under fire. The maturity on display. Brought back quickly. Coming up and down with Perkins, and it'll stay with Wilmington because that's where the arrow was pointing. Out comes Alexander. I believe it's Hawkins coming back in. Uncontested.
So we had a lapse right there. We had two lapses right there by this Chargers team where the defense did not communicate. Wilmington was able to get an easy lane, and then we had a turnover on that inbounds. And this is something that I tell you. It's 4 minutes left, and you're up 22 points. It does not matter. When you're a championship team, you have championship habits. That is not something you want to do if you are the Chargers. You are trying to not only win this game, you're trying to win the CAC conference, and you're trying to win games into the tournament. And picking up bad habits like that, it's something that you do not need to do right now. You need to play this game out until the clock expires. Good habits, championship habits.
Somebody just handed Joe Clinton a paper cup. For all I know, it's an Alka-Seltzer milkshake after that sequence that you just talked about.
I think he deserves it. Coach of the year for the CAC. Coach Clinton is an amazing coach. I think he's not getting the acknowledgement that he deserves. One of the best coaches in the country. He is definitely, in my eyes, a Division I level coach.
Peters scores again. For those unfamiliar with Clinton, he's the AD too. There's a lot going on here. It wasn't long ago that Dominican as an institution went from college to university. There's a trickle down athletically too. As Dickerson trickles that one down. Did he pick up a team? Oh boy.
That was the correct call by the official. I'm not mad at that. That was the correct call. Jules Dickerson had that dunk, put a little extra oomph on it after, and the official came in and called the technical foul. That was the correct call.
Some exaltation, or if you've seen the hockey movie Slapshot, from Ned Braden, a bit of youthful exuberance. And we are now stopped with 3:31 left. Dominican will advance to the semifinals. They have a 93-71 lead with 3:31 left. This game is over at Jefferson. The Rams take care of Caldwell by a score of 84-71. So, as I look down here, Jefferson, one more time, they beat Caldwell by a score of 84-71. Jefferson will play post, which beat goalie Beacom 76-68. And Dominican will take care of Wilmington here. They'll get Bridgeport, which won on the road at Chestnut Hill tonight, 85-81. Women's side, Dominican earlier tonight. Tanasha Mills was great from the line, great from everywhere. Dominican beating goalie Beacom 76-61. Dominican women will take on Holy Family on Saturday. Holy Family post 71-45. Other women's scores. Jefferson takes care of Felicia 75-57. And Caldwell advances by beating Chestnut Hill 61-51. I was hoping we get every score tonight. Now we have. As Horsey will shoot again. He nails them both. Nope, I guess he's got one more. I thought he had nailed one, and then they had the timeout. Used to be in the old days, they did shoot one foul shot, then you took the timeout, then you took the other one. They changed it recently, I want to say 5 years ago, where you got both shots now after the timeout. So after all this, it's Wilmington basketball in front of their own backboard. They'll come up with it now, down by 20. It is Perkins. Ankle looks fine to me, as that is a sweet three from Perez, who looked like that earlier, and we thought this might be a very competitive game at the end if he kept it up. Dickerson, now for Kirk, hangs on to it. Back down for Morris. 3 minutes left. Each team far beyond the double bonus. Back it came in the left corner, and not able to make was Kirk. Now for Horsey from the parking lot. Off the cable. It'll go back to the Dominican with 2:44 left. And now I think Clinton is emptying the bench a bit. Marquise Harris. Yes, he's here. And I think Joe Clinton having a very long conversation right now with Coy Kirk. The coaching never stops. Jaden Honis. Perkins wide as he can get. Morris. Now for Honis. Clinton hasn't pulled him yet. Perkins on him. This one's intercepted. Bumped back quickly by Creedle. Creedle bumps into Harris, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 2:16 left. Harris picks up his first. They are no longer counting team fouls. Creedle will shoot 2. Effort has been great for that young man tonight. Makes the first. He now has 17 points. He is 11 for 11 from the line. Be glad to shake his hand, but this one is over with. Also has 5 rebounds and an assist. He's now made a dozen from there. Shifted quickly. Deflected. And trying to move forward is Harris. He does on Travis, but deflected, and it goes off of Peters' lap. The margin is now down to 15, which explains why Joe Clinton is pacing like a caged animal. Can't wait for this game to end. Perkins. Back for Walter. Walter. Into the corner now for Perkins. Perkins stood up, got it back for Walter. Switch down to the right side. Spinning is Horsey. Lets it go. Off the rim. And able to pull it down is Dickerson. Outletted now for Harris. And now the bench can celebrate a little bit. Has it still. Now able to glove it to Morris, who's able to go around the world a little bit. And a big finish for Peters.
Hello.
And because he did not hang on the rim, there's no team. 95-78. From the logo for 3, Horsey. Went right off in the sunset, got one for the road. And a foul is called against Morris. Everybody's let their hair down here, but I don't think Joe Clinton's happy about that necessarily. Now he's telling Kirk to come back in. Chance Morris will shoot 2. Second foul, by the way, against Perez. Morris has 17 points, 6 of 15 from the field. He's now 4 of 9 from the line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Mahoney is in. Brown is in. Dickerson will have a seat. So will Peters. No, there's no giveaway to my knowledge that you get free tacos or something. The team gets 100. Perkins tries to spin it free, but he can't. And now it is pumped quickly. Shifted along by Dillard, who's into the game now, too. Harris for 3. Can't make it. Rebounded though by O'Mahony. Kick back out. Harris again. That one misses, and it's off the shot clock or the bar directly behind the backboard. Yes, some of the biggest cheers on the bench over the course of a game come at the end when all the B-listers are in. And a hug from Manir Waller from his head coach as the journey is coming to an end for him. This one's deflected into the cable. It'll go back to Dominican. Manir Waller, a grad student who played previously at Mansfield, getting his MBA right now in business administration. We know that it's an emotional time as this game comes to a close. The Chargers, no matter what level of ball, as flushing this one down is Kirk, no matter what level of ball, a 20-win season is always appreciated. They'll improve to 20-7 and 12-4 at home. They've now won 15 of the last 17. Wilmington, they played hard. They'll finish 9-20, but not for a lack of effort. As getting that one to drop in is Perez. One last bucket as the Chargers will take care of the Wildcats. Game closer than the final score would show you. It's a margin of 15, does not reflect how game the Cats were out of the game.
Yeah, this Wildcats team came out the game and showed their resilience and how much they wanted. Going back to what I say, the 0-0 record for both teams, and they really put it all out there in this first half.